Deep within a forest, iron can be heard clashing against iron as two warriors are locked in combat. The smaller one lunges forward with an attack, but it is swiftly deflected by a leather gauntlet, and the larger one retaliates with a shoulder check to the chest, sending her back a few paces. The larger one says, "I should have never accepted you as one of my daughters." Repositioning her feet, she replies, "And I should have never accepted your offer." Throwing dirt at his eyes, she goes in for another attack, but this time it is parried by his short sword, and he does a swift kick to her calf. A large crack rings through the trees. As she collapses to one knee in agony, she quickly regains her senses and tries to roll away, but this time she is too late. His sword comes down hard upon her clavicle. As she begins to bleed out on the ground, starting to lose consciousness, he stands over her and says, "You are a disappointment, not even worth killing." The last thing she sees is the man she once called father turn his back and walk away. As the crackling of embers hits her ears, she quickly shoots up and grabs the neck of the closest person to her. Locking eyes with the man kneeling next to her bed, he is completely unfazed. Looking at her, "Well, are you going to kill me? The man who saved your life?" As the pain shoots back into her body, she releases her grip and falls back down. What happened to me? "Well, I found you, dying, in the forest." Why did you save me?" "Is it not normal to save a dying person?" "You should have let me die. I lost the duel." "Duel, you say? Did you kill the man you were fighting?" "No." "Well, if he is still alive, and you are still alive, then the duel is not over, no?" What? Trying to move, the pain seizes through her body again. Try not to move. You risk reopening your wounds. You will have to stay still for quite some time to heal. Now, relax and rest. The food is almost ready." As he moves away to tend to some stew boiling over the fire, she is left with her thoughts and the painful experience of the day before. The following days are just as painful. Being unable to move, the only thing she is left with are the thoughts of revenge and a searing body full of pain. The strange bald figure that found her doesn't help this at all, as the only thing he does is sit in the same spot day in and day out. The only time she sees him move is to go get food, trying to push his abnormal presence out of her mind and focus on her plan. However, by the fourth day, his peculiar presence breaks through. Turning her head to look at him, sitting on the ground, cross-legged, with his hands in his lap and his eyes closed. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she finally asks, "What is it you are doing there?" Without opening his eyes, he replies, "It is a form of fortifying one's senses and the mind, long performed within my people. It can help anyone with their current situations, whatever it may be. finally opening his eyes to look back. Do you wish to try? As pain fills her chest as she tries to chuckle in her reply. You can keep your strange practice to yourself. Very well. However, I suspect you might need all the help you can get if you wish for revenge. What would you know of revenge? More than most, I hope. Beginning to become disinterested, she turns away. But being intrigued himself, he continues. Allow me to indulge myself. You see, there are 7 paths of ascension that one can dedicate their lives to. There is the path of enlightenment, the path of peace, the path of light and dark, the path of nature, the path of equivalence, and the path of wrath. At the mention of wrath, her attention is captured once again. Noticing this, he continues. The path of wrath is most often used by combatants wishing to enhance their own capabilities, to become more than just warriors. Moving her head back, she asks, And you're saying that this could help me defeat him? I am saying it can do more than just that. But yes. With the realization that this individual could help her with her current endeavor, she now actually thinks of asking him this question. I don't believe I got your name, sir. My name is Munir. I was a Lenar monk, but now I am just a humble man, living out my life in this humble abode. And you? I am Dura, the warrior Dura. It is an honor to finally meet you, Dura. Shall we continue? Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere now, is it? Very well. You see, the path of wrath consists of 3 stages. The first one is the state of Ren. To master Ren, you must be able to completely control your willpower and your emotions. Many can find this quite difficult, but to fully embrace the path, you must have control. The second state has 2 parts to it, the state of Ra and the state of Kul. The state of Ra allows you to imbue yourself more or less defensively to increase your own body. The state of Kul allows you to enhance your attacks, your outgoing energy to affect others. If you can master those 2, I will be happy to say you have been as far as anyone before. I do not know anyone myself who has mastered the 3rd state, which is the state of Rin. That is the ascension, to become more than just a mortal, to become the pure embodiment of wrath. With a look of confused determination, she remarks, "Okay, and how would one go about achieving such a thing?" "Well, to begin, you will learn Zen, which is the first stage in the path of enlightenment. But it is important to learn how to meditate properly. We should practice someplace else. Here, let me help you up." Moving over to her to help her get up and out of the old hut. "Why would we move? What, too many distractions in here?" "No, there are not enough distractions in here." With an even more confused look on her face, he helps her up and out of the hut, into the warm, cold air of the early morning. Moving towards the creek that runs through the forest, he finds a large stump to lean her up against. Making sure she is situated, he moves around in front and takes a seat himself, and begins the first of many lessons he will share. We will begin with meditation. Now, there are many forms of meditation, but we will be using one I am most familiar with. Go ahead and close your eyes. Following, she closes. Now, try to relax. Try to ease yourself into a comfortable position. I want you to begin to sense the world around you. Allow yourself to feel, smell, hear, feel everything around you, but do not hold on to anything. As you feel a sensation, allow it to flow. Do not retain anything. With a more confused look, she responds, I don't quite understand what you mean by that." "It is all right. Just keep your eyes closed and follow my instructions. Listen to the flow of the air, the breeze across your face, the ruffling of leaves, the movement of birds above, the flowing water from the creek, the splashing from the fish, the insects that crawl across the ground. As a sensation finds you, allow it to easily leave and make space for a new sensation to come in. Integrate yourself into the world around you. Become one with everything." Allowing for his speech to trail off into the silence and peace of nature, they begin to sit, and a few minutes pass. Her leg starts to fidget. Her eye starts to twitch. It doesn't feel right to her. Poking an eye out, she sees him sitting easily, unmoved by anything. Frustrated, she tries focusing again, but it just doesn't feel right to her. "You're doing it wrong," he remarks. How do you even know? You're not even looking at me." "I can feel it. Well, I can sense it. It is all right. It takes years for someone to be able to master Zen. Ideally, one can perform Zen for their entire lives, going through their everyday lives without breaking the state. My own master was quite exceptional at it, and every day I strive to live up to his expectations. You will not master this within a day, let alone a month. But with practice, looking down at her broken leg and wounds that have yet to have a full week to heal, you have time on your hands. So I would recommend putting your focus towards something that can actually help, instead of wallowing in self-pity. Feeling as if she just took another hit to her pride, she steals her resolve and focuses on this task at hand. For the next few days, the two of them sit unmoving in this little enclave of nature. But she begins to become impatient again. As time slowly passes, she finds it harder and harder to understand the purpose of what she is doing. Frustrated, she looks at him. "What are we doing here? I have been sitting for days. You said this would help me fight. How does sitting here trying to meditate help me with combat? What is the purpose of this, old man?" Understanding her frustration, he only looks back with a fatherly smile. "I understand. Sometimes it is hard to see the whole. If you wish to see an example, I will show you." Standing up, "Tell me, how many fish are in the creek?" With an even more annoyed expression, she retorts, "Who on earth would know that?" "There are 18 at the moment. There is also 2 badgers living in a cove about 30 feet behind you. There are 15 birds in the trees above, with 2 birds of prey circling overhead. There are 3 anthills about 15 feet away from the creek, as well as a large boar that has been sleeping under the log on the other side. You see, allowing yourself to sense everything can help you determine the dangers and the threats around you. Information is key. If you know what is around you, you will never be surprised by anything. This is one of the few skills my master drilled into me, for he truly understood the usefulness of such a skill. He was never once struck in combat. He was untouchable. No matter how many attacks, how many enemies, no matter where arrows or spears or swords came from, he deflected or dodged them with ease. It was as if he could see everything. If you wish to defeat your enemy, this is what you should strive for. Once you are healed, we will train to test how much you learn from this. Now, any more questions? Or are you able to get back to work? With a bit of a smirk on his face, he sees the wheels turning in her head, connecting the dots. This individual will become a powerful warrior. he thinks to himself. The warrior Dura continues her training, progressively yet slowly learning to integrate herself with the world around her. Hours turn into days, days turn into weeks, as she slowly grasps the idea of meditation. One evening around the fire, a weird thought pops in her head. As she's eating her stew, she looks over to Munir. Munir, I just realized something. Yes. You said there were 7 paths, but you only told me 6. The man who is usually stoic and unaffected by most things gets an unnatural look of disdain. Yes, that is correct. I guess I shall tell you since you brought it up. The 7th path is the path of self. It is a path that is inherently different from the others, as it is the only one that seeks to fuel oneself and serve one's own purpose. It is greatly frowned upon, and if any are discovered to be practicing it, they are shunned and banished. It is not something one should seek for, as it is fundamentally different. As she sits there silently pondering his response, she looks back. Is that what happened to you? Is that why you're here? With a small eye twitch, he takes a moment to calm himself. Looking back with a dead stare, he says, I believe that is enough for today. Get some rest. With a brisk motion, he stands and quickly exits the small hut. Great going, Dura. You made him mad. She lays down for some evening rest, and despite seeing Munir in an agitated state, she can't help but look forward to tomorrow's training. With the early sounds of morning waking Dura from her meditative sleep, she gets up, quickly collects her things, puts them into her satchel, and lays them over her shoulder, and walks outside. The fresh smell and song from the birds and the trees welcomes her as she looks around and sees Munir nowhere in sight. She takes a deep breath and starts walking forward. After a few paces, she suddenly stops, swings around and catches a pebble right in front of her face. Looking at where it came from, she sees Munir leaning up against a tree. Well, that's it. No goodbye. I have to go. I have spent way more time here than I expected. It hasn't been that long, has it? Just how long have you been around? 2 years is a long time. Well, be that as it may, I hope you have learned much. Looking down at the second pebble he holds in his hand. And I hope you are prepared for your travels ahead. Yes, I did learn a lot. But it is time for me to finish what he started. You do not have to explain it to me. I understand. But allow me to share one more piece of advice that my master shared with me. He said, Munir, we are all forced to walk one of the 7 paths. But make no mistake, your path is your own. Putting his hand on her shoulder, Dura, go walk your own path. I would expect nothing less. She nods her head in agreement. Munir, truly, I am grateful for all you have done. You have given me a second chance, so thank you. He nods as well, and with that, Ndura turns around and makes her way for the edge of the forest. Will she follow the path of redemption or the path of revenge? With his company of the past 2 years now gone, the surrounding area feels a bit more quiet. Sitting there tending to the dying fire, the light of the embers flashes across his eyes.
You know what they will do if they discover you've taken a disciple.
You don't have to remind me.